Yo, what is going on, guys? In this tip, I'm going to be specifically focusing on how to defend the pass out of the near close flex formation. And basically, what that is going to entail is we're going to have to force our opponent to stay in the pocket. This offense, a lot like most of the good passing offenses, honestly revolve around getting your quarterback out of the pocket so you can hit corners to basically abuse the zone and man coverage. Now, we're going to be utilizing a tactic that is known in the competitive community, but I don't know how known it is in the YouTube community. So it might be something you guys know of, it might be something you guys don't. But basically, I want to go ahead and show you how to slow this offense down, because this offense, if you don't know how to stop it, can be a huge pain to deal with. It's bad enough that the fullback dive is really good. The fact that you, with route chems, of course, can now hit corner routes to both sides of the field. It's really just going to make it a huge pain to deal with for you guys. So I feel like this is one of those things that definitely needs to be done, and I think it's a good tip for you. So let's go ahead and showcase how this works, right? So now I don't have route chems on this team, but as you guys will see, it's really not going to matter. So I'm going to use smash to simulate the fact that I would have a rollout corner to the right, and then I will use the play flanker drive just to show a corner out going to the left side. So as you guys will see, it's really not going to matter though, because I will not be able to get out of the pocket with any sort of consistency. So we're going to come out and smash. Now, what I like to do defensively is I like to come out in 3-4 bear, and the play that I think gives me the easiest setup and also the quickest, ability to have success with is going to be Buck SS3. So with Buck SS3, what you want to do is you basically want to click onto this safety right here. You want to QB contain and press. So once you press, you just want to move him out slightly, and you'll see that his blitzing assignment goes from an actual blitz to a contain. That's basically all you need done. Now, right after that, you want to just take this linebacker right here out a little bit and QB contain with him as well. So that's going to be how the pressure is going to look. Right? Look, it's going to be a 6-man rush, but you're going to have the ability to contain the quarterback in the pocket because of the linebackers, and in this scenario, a safety, that are on the contains. They won't be able to cut block them to be able to get up out of the pocket. So let's go ahead and showcase how this works, right? So we're going to go ahead and block both running backs. We're going to shift our line to the left. We're going to ID the outside linebacker on the right. This is what your opponent's going to do 9 times out of 10. Now, as you guys will see, when I try to roll out to the right, I will not be able to roll out with any sort of consistency because I will not have anybody to cut block. Because, A, the person you would ID right here is this linebacker, Alexander, and he's not actually blitzing. So you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because if you don't ID this guy and I actually do decide to blitz him, now he's going to come in screaming. You'll have no shot to get any sort of pass off. And I'll go ahead and I'll showcase that to you, later on in the video. So, but this is just your generic setup to keep your opponent in the pocket, force them to dot you. Now, if they're mixing in the fullback dive a lot, you can crash your defensive line down. It's really not going to make any difference in terms of how it plays the pass. So here I'm just going to crash the defensive line down. Now, as I mentioned, I've got the guy ID'd. I've shifted to the left. I'm going to try to roll out to the right. Now, don't pay any attention to my safety. Matter of fact, I'm just going to click off of him. But watch what happens when I try to roll right. So, boom. If I try to go anywhere to the right side of the field, the linebacker, in this scenario, a safety, is going to just come in free. Now, going to instant replay to show you why this works, you'll notice that the running back who is assigned to cut block somebody, in this case it would be Mark Ingram, he's going to go to block this linebacker that we ID'd, and then realize, well, he's not blitzing, so now he's trying to retarget, right? So he's going to go back to the middle of the formation and just try to block somebody, and he's not going to find anybody to block, and basically we're taking him completely out of the play with that. Now you'll also notice our linebackers that are on contains from this linebacker depth right here, they're always going to get the outside shoulder. You see, you get it on both sides. So in this scenario, I get it to the left where I don't know who that actually is. 54 is going to be Warner. You see, he gets the outside rush containment. Therefore, I'm not going to be able to roll left. And then your safety over here gets the exact same thing. Tart gets the same thing. So now, as soon as you tap the right trigger to go right, he's going to disengage. And now you're trying to outrun a safety. It's not going to work. So, I'm going to go ahead and set it up again. Basically, what you want to do, you want to make sure you click onto this safety right here. Move him just slightly, press. Going to move him out, blitz him, crash down, contain. And now you see you're good to go. This is how that's going to look. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. This time, I'm going to try to roll to the left. And you'll see, boom. Can't get to the left. I mean, he completely came in free. So, basically, you see it that you have it to both sides, right? You can't roll to the right because he's always going to get that outside containment. Can't go to the left because he's going to get the outside containment. And then there's going to be times like this where the whole O-line just glitches out, and then they both come in completely free. So basically, if you don't have a quick read, it's like basically a hitch, you're not going to have anywhere to go with the ball. And that's the thing that makes this so effective. So we're going to be able to, contain the run. The run's not going to gash us. They might be able to pick up a couple yards here and there, but they're not going to just gash us over and over again. And then, to top it off, now they can't go anywhere with the ball passing-wise. They're going to have to sit in the pocket and make reads. And that's not anything you want to deal with, especially if you're playing MUT or Weekend League or anything like that, and your opponent has a pass rush elite directly over your center. I mean, it's going to be absolutely miserable for your opponent to try to, dominate, with this scheme when they're getting absolutely screamed at. And there's really nothing they're going to be able to do. So I showed you that, that's with the IDing the two outside linebackers. So let's just say we know what we're doing. They're a smart opponent. They're going to go ahead and try to just ID the linebackers that would be coming in free, right? So the safety and the linebacker on the left. So say they know that. They catch on to the tactic. Now in this scenario, we're going to try to just ID him. So set it up. We've got everything set up like we normally would. We are going to ID this linebacker right here. Watch how this works now. So you'll see, boom. Nobody actually picks him up. And if I would have ran straight out initially, just to show you how this works, if I would have just ran straight out, you see he's got this outside containment. But if I wait just a little bit, now he's going to come in completely free. The running back still will not pick him up. And now I'm trying to outrun a safety to throw a corner out. Now the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is how you can get a little bit more advanced with this. And if your opponent has somehow found a way to be able to roll left, it's going to be basically impossible for them to roll right because of just the overload we have over here. Now, if they use the correct combination between, double teaming and IDing and basically sprinting straight out, you will be able to get out to the left-hand side. But it takes a very unorthodox way of getting there. So, I want to go ahead and I want to show you how to counter that just in case you do end up running into it. So let's go ahead and go back to flanker drive over here just to simulate the corner route. So it would look something like this, right? Now, what you would want to do defensively, if they found a way to be able to get out of the pocket to the left, what you would want to do is you would set it up like you normally would on this right-hand side, right? So just moving him out. Now here, all you would do is you would take this linebacker, move him out until he becomes the guy blitzing, leaving the end right here on the contain. So it would look like this. Now if you wanted the additional purple over there, you could just put Warner in a purple. Now you're still playing in the box like this, right? So it's going to look very similar to what we were doing initially. The only difference is now we've moved this guy out. So now, if they were able to roll out the other way to the left, this is going to be a way to counter it. And just to go ahead and show you that, here's going to be this right here. So just watch how this works. So you'll see right off the bat, you got two people that essentially come in free on that left-hand side. You have the guy blitzing, And then you also have the contain by the defensive end. So going to go ahead just to show you the replay here. Pay attention to how the running backs react. So boom, you've ID'd the right person. This linebacker shoots in. Nobody blocks the contain by the defensive end. So then now you basically are forced to either step up immediately, try to roll right, which we already know we can't really do, or you got to wait here in the pocket until one of them tries to essentially cut block. Now, they will eventually cut block somebody. The problem is, as you guys see, by the time that they do cut block somebody, the other one is essentially already there. So there's nowhere for them to be able to roll out to this left-hand side just based on, essentially the sheer overload that we now have on this side as well. So between the two different versions of those, you're going to be able to completely bag all of the rollout schemes that they may have. Now, theoretically, could they block everybody, send one route out? Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't honestly know. It's just one of those things that you would have to see if your opponent was willing to do it. If that's the case, you would just mainly guard the one route they have out on the field, right? Because, yes, theoretically, they could motion in this receiver over here on this right-hand side to try to create a double team. They could block this tight end as well, so you would have a combination that looked something like this, where you're basically max protecting everything. Not double tapped A right there, but that's one of the only exceptions that I could see to possibly work against this type of defense. So basically, like I said, just to go everything really quick one more time. You're gonna blitz this guy. He's already blitzing. You're just gonna QB contain. You're gonna take this guy, move him out, QB contain. That's gonna be your initial setup. Now, if your opponent has caught on to that, what you would do is you would zone out this linebacker right here. You would then take this linebacker and move him out until he goes on the blitz angle, basically forcing the defensive end into the contain, and now your opponent won't have anywhere to actually go. So, in combination with the other bear blitzes that are already out there, this is just going to be pretty much impossible for your opponent to beat, just because, like I said, there's not really anywhere for them to truly go because we're dumbing out the running backs, and as long as you can dumb out the running back to where they can't cut block anybody, getting around these contains is going to be basically impossible. So, like I said, definitely a decent defense to use. If your opponent is in this set, you can stop the run out of this set as well rather easily. So, yeah, wanted to go ahead and get you guys this little tip. This offense is flying through Weekend League. I've probably played it maybe 7 or 8 times throughout my 25 games. So I know you guys are seeing it. Wanted to go ahead and get you guys a bag for it. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoy the content. Please, if you do, like the video, subscribe to the channel. The more likes I get, the more comments I get, the more interest that appears to be shown to the channel, the more likely that I'm going to keep this thing rolling. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I appreciate your guys' support.